Hey folks, this is Kalani. The first day of BlizzCon revealed way more than I thought it possibly could, giving us a look at what the next 6 years of World of Warcraft could look like, which is kind of insane. We have not one, not two, but 3 expansions laid out on the roadmap with a lot of details about the very next expansion coming our way, the War Within. We're going to see true account-wide progression, including things like reputation. We have new allied races to look forward to, and a lot of new types of solo player content which look even more rewarding than ever before. We might also see some old world revamps as we head into those other future expansions. So let's go over everything we know so far about the future of Warcraft. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The next World of Warcraft expansion is titled The War Within, and as you might expect from the name, this adventure takes us deep underground. We'll meet new allies and face off against old foes as we try to discover the source of a mysterious radiant song which seems to be causing several key characters to see visions calling us down into the depths of Azeroth. We'll meet up with Anduin, Thrall, Magni Bronzebeard and Illyria Windrunner as they all seek the source of these visions and what they might mean. The main threat moving forward seems to be Xal'atath. She has returned and has managed to pick up that weird void artifact thing that Iridikron disappeared with, so we might see him rear his ugly head at some point as well. Xal'atath seeks to bring about a new era of the Void, her own Black Empire. She's recruited all manner of nasty creatures to her side and they seem intent on collecting the black blood of the dead old gods, which never seems to lead to good things. So our goal seems quite simple, right? Stop Xal'atath, stop the Void and earn some shiny loot along the way. Our adventures will take us through 4 new zones. We'll start on the surface on the Isle of Dawn, an untouched paradise with a group of Earthen who have been cut off from the rest of the world. After being alone for so long, some of them have lost their way, while others are strictly following their eons-old directives from the Titans. They're also in charge of a massive Titan coreway, which leads directly to the heart of Azeroth, which sounds like it's going to be very important indeed. These new Earthen allies are also going to be our next allied race. They will be available for both the Horde and the Alliance, so you can play whichever faction you would prefer, and they have some amazing customization options lined up, including encrusted gemstones, awesome hair and skin options, and facial hair for all body types. Just beneath the surface, we're going to find the Ringing Deeps, an industrial cavernous space with lava-heated foundries and furnaces maintained by the Machine Speakers. The Kobolds also have a large presence here and have taken over a good portion of the mines and even building a city of their own. We'll need to make sure the Titan machinery is still up to its task while clearing out any problematic infestations along the way. Now delving a bit deeper brings us down to Hollowfall, which looks absolutely amazing. It's a grand cavern lit by an artificial sun in this huge crystal. In this zone we can find the Arathi, worshippers of holy fire who seem to be trapped here, and they are locked in an unending war with the Nerubians on the edge of their borders. But as the crystal sun starts to falter, the Arathi are struggling to keep the darkness at bay. Down in the depths of that darkness, below Hollowfall, is Azkahet, the heart of the Nerubian Empire. The zone is split into various areas, which relate to the various castes of the Nerubians. There is some forgotten scavengers on the outskirts, a curious trading bazaar, and grand Nerubian temples. This zone could be amazing. It promises to be dangerous, with plenty of opportunities to learn some Nerubian secrets, with gameplay options to blend in with the natives here. One of the more important points about these zones is how they are layered and how they flow into one another. Only the first zone is above ground, with the next 3 being further and further underground until we reach that horrid nest of Nerubians. It sounds like the zones will be connected very much like how the Zaralek caverns work in Dragonflight, with tunnels and airlock technology seamlessly loading the zone as we get closer. So no loading screens, which is a huge plus for immersion, and from the little peek we got here, it's gonna to look and feel amazing zooming down into these huge zones, and as you might have guessed from this footage, dragon riding is coming with us into the next expansion, so that faster, more active style of flying isn't going anywhere, which I am a huge fan of. Dragon riding has changed the game for the better, so I'm happy to see it become a staple feature of the game. Another update that was briefly shown is dynamic flying, which is basically just dragon riding but for other mounts. We're not sure if every mount will be able to use dynamic flying, but the quick video reel we saw had both the Ashes of Allah and Invincible, so we should be able to use almost any flying mounts, I would think. We were also given a small glimpse at some new systems coming our way in the War Within, starting with delves. These sound very similar to scenarios from back in Mists of Pandaria. They're small outdoor experiences that serve as a new endgame option for outdoor content players. They scale from 1 to 5 players, meaning you can go in solo or take a group of friends, and we will also have an NPC companion which changes with the seasons. So we start with Bran Bronzebeard and we can outfit him to help tank, DPS or heal, so you can set him up however he benefits you the most. Delves will have seasonal content and rewards including mounts, titles and achievements, and we're also going to have an extra row added in the Great Vault for outdoor world content, so these delves should also help you earn some shiny new weekly gear too. We're going to have 13 unique delves at launch, so even the outdoor content players have a lot to look forward to in the new expansion. But perhaps the most important and most exciting new system announced for the new expansion is the Warbands feature. We're not too sure on many of the specifics here, but the general purpose of a warband is very clear: account-wide progress. Your warband is essentially all of your characters on your Battle.net account, and you can share progress across them. So account-wide reputation and renown progress, account-wide banks, maybe account-wide currencies and resources. This is going to be a huge step forward when it comes to alts and playing the game how you want to play. The other major change here is going to be for transmog. You'll be able to collect transmog on any character, so you don't have to play a plate wearer to get the plate transmog. You should get the appearance unlock for anything that drops no matter what. True account-wide progress. It's going to be amazing. The Dragonflight talent rework also seems to be brought forward as well, so expect that to work in much the same way, but we'll have a new addition here as well: hero talents. Hero talents seem to be pseudo subclasses or specs, with each class having various options for their hero talent tree. The example given was for warrior, where they have 3 hero talent trees, but each spec only has access to 2 of them. Mountain Thane, Colossus and Slayer are the 3 warrior options, and you can see from this graphic how each spec will be able to specialize into specific options. The hero talents change how your character plays, how abilities work, and even give you new special visual effects. We were given other examples like a Dark Ranger hero talent tree or a Farseer talent tree, and there's a quick peek at the Keeper of the Grove and Elun's Chosen options for Druid, so we could see some interesting options to play around with. This will probably be where a lot of variations of gameplay will come from in the new expansion, and I can't wait to see how they turn out. We'll have 10 talent points to spend in this new hero talent tree, and we'll get 1 point per level in the new expansion, so 10 talents total by the time we hit level 80, which will be our new level cap in the War Within. We'll have all new dungeons and raids to explore, as you might imagine. We're going to start with 8 new dungeons, 4 that will be available while leveling, and 4 that open up at max level. Some of them sound like they could be really cool, and the zone environments already sound amazing, so I can't wait to see what they do with the dungeons. We know one of them is going to be all about kobolds, with a Candle King for us to face off against, and then there will be a dragon riding dungeon as well, because if dragon riding is coming forward with us, you know we're going to have to make use of it, right? And then the first raid we'll be delving into is the Nerubian Palace, which sounds like another amazing environment and setting for us to venture through. That should also wrap up the first storyline in the expansion and push us closer to Xal'atath. We also have a tentative release window for the expansion of fall 2024, which means the dev team are probably aiming for right around November again. What better month than the anniversary month, especially when this will be the 20th anniversary for World of Warcraft. That also fits in quite nicely with the 2-year release cadence of previous expansions, so I would expect The War Within to release sometime in November, with the alpha starting in early 2024. If you're curious, the pre-purchase for the expansion is also already available, so if you know you're going to play and want to pick up some extra goodies, we have several pre-purchase levels or options with more rewards for the more expensive packages, and I'll go over all of these pre-purchase rewards, what they are and whether they're worth it, in another video to see what everything looks like in-game. Now that's pretty much everything we know about the War Within, but as I said at the start of the video, we actually have a sneak peek at the next 2 expansions after that. In World of Warcraft Midnight, the Void will try to snuff out the light of the Sunwell, plunging us all into an unending darkness. We'll also revisit Quel'Thalas, and we will unite the various elf tribes, which sounds very cool indeed. After that, we're heading into World of Warcraft The Last Titan, where we sail back to Northrend and Ulduar to welcome the Titans back to Azeroth and uncover a conspiracy that might just upend everything we know about the Titans. Together with the War Within, these 3 expansions encompass what the dev team are calling the World Soul Saga, so it's a larger story told over multiple expansions instead of a smaller contained story being wrapped up in just one expansion, so we'll be following these story threads for potentially the next 6 years, which is both very exciting and also really interesting. We know what the general theme of our next few major chapters are going to be. We're also returning to the old world, including going back to Northrend in the Last Titan, so I would expect to see something of an old world revamp or refresh throughout these adventures as well. But there is one point here that really stood out to me, and it was very brief. Metzen said that we should see content faster than before. It's something they've been working on, and they don't have any details to share right now, but he emphasized faster content or potentially faster expansions, with 3 expansions being laid out in front of us, and with Dragonflight delivering very steady, quick content patches, it makes me wonder how much faster they could actually go. In the past, the dev team have talked about the potential of yearly expansion launches, meaning 1 expansion per year. That could be on the table here, even though it seems like way too much content to pump out every year. If they stuck to 1 expansion every 2 years, these 3 announced expansions would cover the next 6 years of WoW, which is a pretty long time. What if they decided to reduce the overall length of an expansion? What if instead of 3 major sections or 3 major patches in an expansion with a content gap at the end, we just had 2 major patches and then immediately moved into the next big story? I could see that being the plan. My main concern here though would be the expansion price tag. If you go from 1 expansion every 2 years to 1 expansion every single year, that doubles the cost to keep up, which definitely wouldn't be ideal. Either which way they decide to play it, it sounds like faster content is at the forefront of Blizzard's plan moving forward. But that's everything we know from day 1 of BlizzCon and about the next 3 expansions coming for World of Warcraft. What do you think from what we've seen so far? Which preview of the War Within are you most excited to learn more about? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members who are on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you'd like to add your name to the end of every video with a special shout out at the start of the next video, you can find links in the description over to Patreon or click the join button just below this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.